So you've just applied for your first role on the service desk and you're keen to understand what the interview process looks like and what the interview process is going to be for that service desk analyst role. Let me, a service desk manager, take you through my process of what it looks like to apply for a role on a service desk. Hi everyone, welcome back to Service Desk Evolution. My name is Mark, Service Desk Manager based here in Auckland, New Zealand. Hope everybody's well, hope you're doing swimmingly. In today's episode, I'm going to take you through my recruitment process as a Service Desk Manager when I'm hiring a Service Desk Analyst. So stick around if you'd like to know about what my process looks like and the steps I take to hire the right people. So step number one for me is this a contractor or a permanent role? There are two types of roles that I hire for, a service desk contractor or a service desk analyst, permanent position. And I kind of have different recruitment processes for both of them. So first of all, I'll take you through the basic recruitment process that I use for any service desk analyst. So the first step of my service desk analyst recruitment is to obviously review your CV. I look at your CV, it matches what I've asked for in the job description. It doesn't waffle, it's not 45 pages long. I'm going to do another video on how to optimize your CV to get a role. But I look at your CV, I'm happy with it. I arrange a first initial contact interview, which is generally either on the phone or in Teams. Now, being that we are in a modern age, it's pretty much always on Teams. So I book a Teams meeting scheduled with you for half an hour. In that half an hour, I'm looking to make sure that you and I vibe. You come across well, you're well presented, you can communicate well, you're very interested in the role. One of the questions I always ask people is, what do you know about this role? What do you know about my business? Have you, and that's essentially for me to understand, have you prepared for this interview? Are you interested in this role? Are you just applying for every role you see online? Or are you specifically interested in this role? Have you taken the time to prepare yourself for this role by learning as much as you can about the job description and the business that you've applied for? So that's one of the things I look for. I also look for the fact that you're happy, you're smiling. I can understand what you're saying throughout the Teams call. If you've got Teams issues, you've gone and used your technical brain and tried to resolve those Teams issues so that there are no problems throughout the call, and you really optimize that 30 minutes. You answer all the questions I have. I'm trying to learn about you. I'm trying to learn about what you will be like fitting into the culture that we already have on the service desk and whether you could fit in and gel with our team. Will you gel with me? Will you be somebody who I could manage, who I'd like to manage? And are you somebody that is looking for growth and looking for development? That's what I'm looking for from the team's interview. That's what I'm looking for from that first initial contact. Let's not forget, throughout all of this process and throughout any process, you need to ensure that you are making sure you're making a really good first impression and that you're sticking in somebody's mind. Somebody could be interviewing for a service desk role, like myself, and could go through hundreds of CVs and 10, 20 or so interviews, and you really got to make sure that you stand out and that you show throughout that interview process that you really want the role and that you are invested in going through this process and for trying to get this service desk analyst role in my team. So we've just finished the phone interview or the Teams interview. I'm really happy. We're going to proceed. The next step I'd have is I'd bring you into the office for a meeting with either interview with either myself and one of my peers, or myself and one of my senior engineers. So again, this interview is going to be diving a lot deeper into your CV. It's going to be diving a lot deeper into your technical kind of experience, the kind of roles you've worked through in the past, the kind of technologies you've worked for, the ticketing systems, and what kind of experience you've had. And if you haven't had any experience, what relevant experience have you had that we could translate into the service desk role? Again, I'm looking for appearance, I'm looking for attitude, I'm looking for eye contact, I'm looking for a solid handshake, not a little sloppy wet one. I'm looking for that really good first impression. It might be not my first impression, but it could be my colleague's first impression, and I really need you to help wow them and wow me with your presence and with your enthusiasm for this interview and for this potential role that you'd be getting. It'll be a back and forth. My interview style is not tell me about a time you did this and then question, answer. I like to ask a question and then have a conversation about your experience, your answer, maybe shed a little bit more insight into my question or into how that applies to the role or the business that you'll be applying for, and then kind of flesh it out and kind of have the conversation a bit organic and try and hit all the action points that I need to hit throughout the interview. And again, it's about the vibe, it's about the gel, it's about the culture fit, And it's about making sure that what you've written on your CV you can talk to, and that you really actually do have that experience. Okay, so the next step would be, okay, we're happy with that. We both want to move on in the recruitment process. I would then arrange a technical interview with one of my senior engineers and myself to go through and probe into your technical skills. Now, this is a 30-minute interview generally, and the technical interview can only go so far without somebody actually doing the job day to day with you. So we have a VM environment in which we can test people. We have done analysis on ticket logging, common issues, the things that you would be coming across daily and the technologies you'd be coming across daily in the role for us, for our team. And we have tailored our technical interview around that. And again, what we're looking for in the technical interview, again, is appearance, enthusiasm, the ability to communicate clearly what steps you are doing to address the problem we have put in front of you. What troubleshooting steps are you doing? What information gathering are you doing? What is your kind of thought process to eliminating issues to get to the root cause of the issue? Not only are we just expecting you to be, to have all of the technical answers, but it's also about the process, about how you get to the end result of fixing the issue, or what steps you take when you are stuck to ask the probing questions of the technical resource in the room, who would also be your seniors on the service desk. What extra steps are you taking, and how do you get to the point that you're getting to? That's kind of what we're probing in this interview. Again, it's just to make sure that we know that if and when we put you onto the service desk, you are capable of doing the job, and you're capable of escalating when required and trying to resolve things in a methodical, technical, and normal way of trying to troubleshoot something. And that goes on for about 30 minutes. Like I said, there's a variety of questions across a variety of technologies. And again, that can often lead into conversations, lead into deeper technical conversations between myself and the technical resource. Again, it's more of a fluid kind of interview process, kind of a step-by-step troubleshooting scenario-based technical interview. We have a pool of around 40 to 50 questions that we've developed over time that we can go into, that we can take you through, and one thing will lead to another depending on your ability to get through the first couple. We'll figure out where it goes from there. So that's the technical interview wrapped up. And then final interview is the final boss, is what we like to call it, is with the one-up manager. So my manager will interview you. You would have, a 45-minute interview with my boss. And again, this is around him trying to understand cultural fit, him trying to explain to you roadmap, where he sees the business going, how your experience could fit into that. But also it is about him probing into areas which we've identified throughout the other 3 interviews, where we think that he could focus on and get maybe a bit more detail out of you, and try and maybe form his view and opinion of you and your technical ability and your ability to fit into the team. Again, you really need to think about enthusiasm, appearance, first impressions, because again, this will be another new person that you're meeting. And these are all very important things you need to consider in each and every interview that you ever go into. So once we've gone through that recruitment process, we then hand over to our internal people and culture team, who then will go through all of the contractual stuff with you, reference checks and whatnot. In our country, we have to have a Ministry of Justice check, which is a police vetting check. We also have to have probably 2 references, one from your previous employer or your current employer. And these are all really important things. But again, I think we'll probably dive deeper into the contractual side of it and the you've got the job, now what, in a future episode. So make sure you look out for that. So I'm not sure if I've missed anything, but if I have, please let me know in the comments below. If you like more content, if there's more questions you have around Service Desk, getting into Service Desk, or what life is like on a Service Desk, consider giving the channel a subscribe. I'll be carrying off those in the future. Or leave a comment, leave a like, let me know what you'd like to see more of and what you'd like me to talk more about. I could go on for hours about some of the good and bad interviews that I've had in the past and the good and bad recruitment processes I've had in the past, and I think that may be another video in the future too. I have a lot of stories and I have a lot of good ones and some absolute nightmares, which are really quite funny. Right, so thank you very much for your time once again. I really appreciate it. Thank you for calling and listening to Service Desk Evolution. Your ticket reference number is 002. If there's anything else I can help you with, please let me know. Have a great day.